Oh shit, he's on Instagram doing a live again. Okay, I always type in what this video is about in the comments before I get started, so that when you're live, you can know what this is about. And if you're watching this again on IGTV, well, then you're gonna learn that anyway. This is basically just a live on how to get clients, because that was the biggest question I got over the past few days. So let's see, how to get more clients. Let me put a little money bag there, money bag, cool. Pin comment. Nice. What's up? Happy Monday. What day is it? It's like December 9th. Wow. Time flies. This year has flown by. It has flown by. What's going on? Type in the chat box where you're from. Give me some idea of who's watching this right now. I'm always amazed by the fact that we have people from all over the world watching these videos. And as you do that, I'll light this Palo Santo, and I have my coffee here, and I got some MCT oil in here, some almond milk, and we're gonna have a good old discussion. What is up, my friends? So earlier last week, I put up a poll on my IG feed, and basically I was asking what your biggest questions are, what your challenges are, and trying to learn more about who you are, because I know a lot of you, but there are many of you I don't know. So here are the results from the survey. What's going on in Poughkeepsie? What's up, Kat? Here are the results from the survey. First of all, 78% of the people watching these lives and watching my content own some type of service-based business. Of the people who actually own a business, they own a service. So type in the chat box if that's you. In fact, give me some hearts if that's you. If you run a business that is a service, providing services to others, like you're doing consulting, you're doing coaching, maybe you're doing agency work, doing high-level freelance work, that would be you. A lot of service providers here. And I was asking people about questions that they had, and obviously we had a lot of the same questions because people are going through the same stuff. You know, one thing I know about business is, and this is something I've learned over the last few years, is that all businesses are completely different and exactly the same. They're all completely different and exactly the same. What does that mean? Well, it means that we all have our own individual unique challenges, and other business owners have gone through those challenges since the beginning of time. And, you know, even as you grow and scale, challenges kind of stay the same, even though they get larger. You know, they get more complex. If you are a business making under $1 million or under 100,000, you still might be looking to get more sales, looking to get more customers, but so is a business doing 10 million. So is Facebook, who's now expanding to try to get to every single market in the world. They want more customers. So, what is going on, my friends? Nice to see you. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, shall we? So how to get more clients. This is something that I think is on the forefront of everyone's mind. We're going into the new year. We're going into 2020, which is a year of, I believe, a year of natural alignment and natural abundance. I mean, 2020 is such a symbolic year. You know, you can't be going into the 20s without feeling a little bit special. I can't believe that we're gonna be in a new decade. We're gonna be in the roaring 20s again. I didn't even think I was gonna live this long when I was a kid. Honestly, I didn't. I couldn't imagine myself being in such a futuristic age. And with that entry into the new generation, this new decade, I think that it's incumbent upon us to continue to work on ourselves, continue to work on the business, and do things that we know are possible for us, for ourselves. And part of that is growing. How do you get more customers? How do you get more clients? Well, spent the last year working with about 45 different business owners. And what's interesting about that is that no matter what stage they were at, there was always the challenge of looking to get more clients, looking to get more customers. You know, in the past year, we worked with businesses that were anywhere between, $5,000 and $10,000 a month, all the way to businesses that are doing a couple $100,000 a month. And it all comes down to basically three core elements. When you're looking to make more money and get more clients in the door, there are 3 elements that you have to have in place in order to understand what you're missing, right? And even if you've been slowly growing and slowly making more money, a lot of times these elements aren't quite aligned. They're not quite in place, and that's stopping you from growth. So what are those elements? Well, they spell an acronym, AMMO, A-M-M-O, AMMO. So what does it stand for? So the first element of growing, and getting more clients is that you need to understand who your avatar is. That's what the A stands for. Now, I know that avatar might seem elementary. It might seem like you already have this lockdown. It might seem like something that you've already worked on and considered, and you don't want to think about it anymore. I already know who my avatar is, okay? But type in the chat box right now, and I want to see this. I actually want to read these comments. Who is your avatar? Now, your avatar is your target client, okay? Who is your ideal client? Who is the person you're trying to reach? Who's the person you're trying to contact? Who do you want to connect with your services or products? Who do you want to bring through the doors of your, what could be an online business, could be a retail store? Who's your avatar? A lot of times, even businesses that are making money don't have a clear avatar. We don't really understand who it is we're trying to contact. We're trying to contact everybody. We're trying to contact, anyone who will give us money. We're trying to market to anyone who will pay us, anyone who will listen to us. And that leads to confusion. So let's think of some examples. When we talk about avatar, it really comes down to position. So let's say, for instance, that you're running a business and I'll put it to you this way. Let's say you're running a business that sells athletic supplies. And, you could take, for instance, Under Armour back in the day. Under Armour was originally created to sell to teams of, like football teams in the US. And they did something very interesting with their avatar. Rather than going after individual consumers at first, like Nike was doing, like trying to find individual people in stores and sell to them one-on-one, they picked a different avatar. They picked in football organizations, like whole teams. And there's a big difference between going after individual clients and going after organizations. And by understanding that their avatar was different than Nike or Reebok, they were able to slip in there and they were able to stand out. And by signing whole teams rather than signing individual students, or not students, individual customers, they were able to grow more quickly because they were able to sell in bulk. And this is just one example with Under Armour, knowing their avatar. Do you know your avatar? Even if you are, you've been able to make some sales, there might be a point where you're unclear about who it really is you're trying to target. And let me just tell you, when it comes to business, working with everybody is really working with nobody. Even McDonald's, who seems like they work with anybody, who seems like they sell to anybody, really has an avatar. And their avatar is, someone who is, pressed for time, someone who likes good old American food, someone who maybe isn't necessarily as health conscious because, it is McDonald's, let's be honest, and they have a particular avatar. Now, still on this point of avatar, when you're understanding your potential clients or your ideal client, there's a difference between psychographic and demographic, okay? A demographic is all the typical information you'd learn about somebody. It'd be, their age, their sex, their location, maybe their occupation, all these different census details, the objective details of someone's life, right? And that helps. And back in the day when advertising was just plug and play on TV, everything was run by demographic, right? If you go to Facebook, most of their advertising options are demographic options. But demographic is not the only or necessarily the best way to target your ideal clients. So again, talking about getting more clients, the more specific you are, the more likely these people are to be able to want to work with you, to want to be able to come to you. Demographic is one way of looking at clients. Psychographic data is another way, and it's a lot of times a more accurate and a more nuanced way of looking at clients. Psychographic data is how people think and feel and the relationship that they have to the thing that you're selling. So I'll put it to you this way. I'm a millennial, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to put it, I'm a millennial and I'm 31. I'll be 32 in 2020. And that means that throughout my childhood, I grew up with certain experiences that I'm going to share with people who are also of my same generation, of my same age. So I grew up watching Nickelodeon. I grew up watching Snick. And I grew up watching Stickly on the weekends. And I grew up watching Are You Afraid of the Dark and Kenan and Kel and all that. And I grew up watching, when I was in middle school, Buzz Lightyear and Recess. And I grew up watching Rugrats. And I can talk about 90s cartoons all day. And now what if I put something in my ads and I said, who loves orange soda? Is it true? I do. Ooh. Who is that? Put in the chat box who that is, right? Kat says Rocco's Modern Life. By the way, quick aside, Kat, they just came up with a Rocco's Modern Life movie. It's on Netflix, and I can't wait to watch it, okay? Now going back to who loves orange soda, that's Kel, okay? That's Kel from Kenan and Kel. And you'd have to be a specific age range to understand that, okay? You'd have to understand, like, there's a cultural impact there. There's the time and place that you were watching that. There's the connection that you had to that show if you were connected to it. There's the memories from that time period of thinking, I was a kid, I was having fun, it was probably a good time in your life. There's the funny factor. Yeah, Kat, you're 31, you get it. Like, when you start adding in those psychographic things into your ads, your clients or your potential clients start relating to it. And so when you start to think about who your actual potential customers and clients are, and you start to add things that only they would get, they connect. I was driving past a billboard the other day. What up, David? Yeah, this is some real game. I was driving past a billboard the other day, and there was I've been talking about this for a while. There was a sign for MedMen, and MedMen is a cannabis shop here in LA, and they had a billboard, and it had like 4 different people. It had men and women, and it had one woman that said doctor, lawyer, engineer, teacher. I forget what the professions were, but they had it listed above their head. And then it crossed those professions out, and it said pothead. And what they were doing was they were using some demographic and psychographic marketing to say to these people, hey, you might be a doctor or a lawyer or engineer or a teacher, but it's okay to be a pothead. Now, your opinion on that ad is your opinion. I'm not sure that's the most responsible thing to put, but it's really connecting with people at a psychographic level because it's saying, hey, no matter what profession you're in, we know that you probably like this and we understand. So that's psychographic. And I guarantee you that when you start understanding who your avatar is, part of this ammo equation, who your avatar is, and you know not only their demographic information, where they are, what sex they are, how much money they typically make, some of their demographic shit. Once you understand the psychographics of them and you really do a deep dive into who these people are as people, as humans, when they grew up, what their culture is like, when you approach them through your marketing or in real interactions, you're going to be able to connect with them, right? And even in a meta way, by me talking about Rocco's Modern Life or Kenan and Kel on this, you know that if you grew up with that we're on the same wavelength. So there's a meta going on here. So that's the ammo part, or that's the A part of the ammo equation. You guys following along? Give me some hearts if this is useful to you. And if you're watching this again on IGTV, well, put a comment below. Okay, so I guess it's AMMO. The MM part, what does MM stand for? MM is marketing message, okay? I love you too, what's up? MM stands for marketing message, okay? So you have your avatar, you know their psychographic information, you know their demographic information. What's your marketing message? Your marketing message is what you're putting out there, like how you're communicating with them, what you're saying to them. This is something that takes time to develop, but you have to understand what your marketing message is going to be. So, another good example is we can go on this MedMen, actually that's another MM. We can go on this MedMen journey again because I saw another billboard for them. They had a great marketing message. They had a billboard and they said Christmas is coming, so are your in-laws. And then they had a sleigh with a big blunt on it. It's great marketing, right? It's great marketing, and what it says is we're a little bit funny, we're a little bit cheeky, We're aware of what season it is. We're connecting with you on a personal level. Marketing message. How are you saying what you're saying? Now, marketing message has a few different elements to it. The first is like the specific medium you're connecting with people on. So where are you connecting with them? Are you connecting with them on social media? Are you connecting with them via email? Are you doing cold email? Do you have some sort of funnel going on? Do you find your clients or potential clients through introductions or referrals? Do you find your potential clients through speaking engagements or live events? Do you find your potential clients through old school newspaper ads, which people still do? Do you find your clients through marketing and business journals? Do you find your clients through events? Like, there are all these different ways that you can get your marketing message out there. So you have to, after you define your avatar, figure out how you're finding the people and where that marketing message is going to be. Are you going to put it on billboards? Maybe you won't. Are you going to do long form content? Is it going to be on YouTube? How exactly are you getting people to find you? And how are you getting people to connect with your offer? Because even if you know who your ideal client is, you have to know exactly how you're going to find them. Even clients of mine that I work with who have, pretty successful businesses sometimes have I would say a scatterbrain approach to how they're getting leads. And you're not going to be able to really move past the next level until you have a very clear idea of exactly how you're going to find leads and where they're at. And by the way, Marco says he wants to join live. If you guys want to join live and ask questions after this, that would be great. So stick around, and if you want to do that, I'll open about 10 minutes up. We can do questions at the end, okay? And I'll bring you on here live. So, marketing message. Avatar is who they are. Marketing message is how you're going to get in contact with them, where are the lead sources coming from. And then, offer, okay? What are you actually offering? So, let's think about this. You know who they are. You know where you're going to find them. What are you actually going to offer them? Again, this is something that you might think, oh, well, I have this all figured out. I know what it is. But when you sit down and you actually think about your offer, you might be unclear about what this offer is. And if you're unclear about exactly what your offers are, you're not going to be able to connect with people. And let me elucidate something for you for a minute. When you get your avatar, your marketing message, and your offer aligned, and you figure this stuff out, you are going to scare some people away, okay? You're going to scare some people away. And that's a good thing. Not everyone's going to be right for your offer, okay? Not everyone's going to be a good fit for you. And you don't want to work with everybody, okay? You don't want to work with everybody. In the beginning, when you're first struggling to get people, you're going to feel that anybody is your potential client. You'll give them anything they want, and you'll look for them anywhere. As you continue to do this work, you'll realize that that's not a good strategy, okay? It's much better to have fewer people who are more qualified to work with you than a bunch of people who either are lukewarm about you, have no idea what you are and what you do, and don't really care. It's much better to have a few great clients than it is to have a lot of shitty clients, and if you've been working for a while, you understand what shitty clients are. Like, for instance, this guy in the chat, Vishal Chu, he's been calling me names, I think, on the chat, but he didn't even spell asshole right. So he's an example of someone who I wouldn't want. So I'm going to hide this chat from him. So now he's out of the chat room, and it's great. See, he's not an ideal client. So he doesn't even get to hear what my offer is. But that's the idea. When you line these things up, when you have the avatar, which is who they are, the marketing message, which is what you're saying and where they are, and the offer, which is what you're actually selling, then everything aligns. And maybe if you're speaking to the room of 100 people, when your avatar, marketing message, and offer are lined up, only 3 or 4 of those people find that it's really for them. But you have a much better chance at signing those people, at closing those deals, if you're aligned, than you do trying to sign everybody. And I'll tell you this from personal experience. When you go in there and your only intent is to cover the O part, which is the offer, you're gonna sell anything to everybody. And that's gonna come back and bite you in the butt, because you're gonna realize that you can't fulfill on everything, that not everyone's a good fit for your services, and that you've overworked yourself, that you're over-promising and under-delivering, and you're not doing a good job. Most people, especially on the internet, are so obsessed with making money, so obsessed with the offer that they forget about having the avatar and the marketing message aligned. And the avatar and the marketing message are what refine your position so that you can make the right offer. If you make the wrong offer to a group, you're going to get the wrong clients, right? You can make the right offer to the wrong group and you'll get no clients. So that's why these things have to be aligned. So if I came on here today and I said, oh, well, because the title of this is how to get more clients. If I came on here today and said, oh, well, the way to get more clients is just run Facebook ads and, try this method and that method and that method. Like, it doesn't really matter. That's just the middle of this. That's just the marketing message component of this. But if you don't have the avatar and the offer right, you're not going to get anybody. And I didn't say how to get more leads necessarily. I said how to get more clients. Because at the end of the day, you can have 1 million leads, and if you're not doing the right thing, and if you don't have your avatar, marketing message, and offer dialed in, those 1 million leads are going to be, there's not going to be any clients in there. At the end of the day, the reason why we're doing this is so we can take people from not knowing who we are to understanding who we are, to considering working with us, to wanting to work with us, right? Take them from the sidewalk through the slow lane to the fast lane. The sidewalk is, yeah, I might be open to working with you. The slow lane is, I have a problem and I think you might have my solution. And the fast lane is, where do I sign up, right? So you want to take people from the sidewalk through the slow lane to the fast lane. And by honing your avatar, marketing message, and offer, you can create a situation where people understand and identify that you have the solution to their problem, and it's much easier to pitch them because there's no pitch. They just see an alignment, right? And so working with you is effortless. So that is how you do it, man. What's up, Be Happy? How you doing? Appreciate you, Darian. So that is my mini seminar today on how to get more clients. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box here, and I'll take them for a few minutes. And if you're watching this on IGTV, make sure to leave a comment below with your biggest question, because I'll come back and I'll answer some of these questions from the comments in later IG stories. And also share this with a friend who needs to see it, because everyone wants to get more clients. 2020 is the way. Thank you, David. I appreciate you. Monday is cardigan day. Actually, every day is cardigan day. I was stressing over, I changed my bio on IG in my profile the other day, and I was like, what's the one thing I can say about myself that no one else can really say? And I gotta say, cardigans are my thing. Do I have a list of what I just said? I do, actually. You know what I'll do? Nick, if you can DM me, I'll send you a link to one of my articles about this. And I think I also did a YouTube video on this. So I gotta find it though. Just DM me and I'll get back to you. And also, guys, by the way, if you want to learn more about this stuff, just DM me. Like if you want more information on how to apply this in your business, always open to having a conversation. So DM me. You can always get in contact with me there. Another thing too. One, I'm working with a few people this year. I decided to open up a few spots in 2020 to work with individuals. We had a really, really great year working with lots of different types of businesses last year, and now I'm opening up a few more spots. So if that's you, if this is useful information and you think that I can help you, then you can DM me and we can talk. But I mean, I really just want to hear more about what you're working on first. There's not a direct pitch. I really just want to hear more about what's going on with you. And if it's a good fit, then we can progress the situation. But just introduce yourself in the DMs and then we'll go from there. Let's see. David said, still digesting this? I feel like I walked into here on alignment. That's right. Johan said, what if multiple demographics have a need for your service? Is it better to just focus on one? Good question. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you can always expand, but I feel that in the beginning, it's great to hone your message and your offer to one audience first, or a smaller, tighter subset, in order to make sure that things are working. When you start too broad, it's hard to know if things are working. So let me give you an example. Like when let's just talk about Facebook ads, okay? When you test Facebook ads, a funnel in general, when you test the funnel, you have to look at all the different factors of the funnel. And you start with the top of the funnel with the audience, okay? And that's who you're targeting if you're doing paid ads. And then from the audience factor, you go to, what's my copy and what's my creative? That's the actual advertisement. And then after the copy and creative, you go to what's the actual landing page look like, right? And then once you go past the landing page, it's what's the actual offer. And all of those things are independent variables that need to be adjusted and tweaked in order to get the best results. And the more things you have to focus on, the harder it is for you to determine what's working, what's not. So we always start with the top level and then work our way down. And if we have too many audiences we're testing to in the beginning, sometimes it's hard to tell what's working and what's not working. So we want to start with an audience where we can clearly define that audience, and then test our marketing message and our offer through that audience before we move on to the next audience. And it doesn't mean that you can't run multiple tests, but typically we find that it's better to focus on one thing in the beginning and then make sure it works with that, or see that it doesn't work and then move on. You know, when you have too many different positions, when you test to too many different types of people, a lot of times it's unclear what's working and what's not. Now, if you test an offer to a group of people or an audience and it completely flat out fails, look at it and see, was it the audience that we got wrong? Was it the marketing message? Was it the offer? What areas of this weren't working? And start with the audience as the first change before you move on to changing the marketing message and the offer, right? Those are some examples. Nice, guys. All right. I appreciate you. This was today's live stream. Like I said, if you want more help on this stuff, it was interesting to you, DM me and we can talk about how this might apply in your business, working with a few people this year. So much love, much appreciation, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Peace, man. Later, Johan.